Good morning, class. I am Mr. Anthony, your mathematics teacher, and I'm going to be touching the topic whole numbers. And under whole numbers, I'll be talking about counting in billions and trillions. Now, it's expected that for you to learn counting in billions and trillions, you must have gone through counting from the stages of units to tens, to hundreds, to thousands, 10,000s, hundreds of thousands, then millions. And even in millions, you have unit millions, you have 10 million, you have hundreds of millions before you even get to billions. So I want to assume, and I pray it's safe to assume, that you must have dealt with all that level of counting. So without further ado, I'll go straight to the topic of today. And I will use several examples to teach you the easiest ways to count. Okay? And then the easiest ways to count when you're dealing with big numbers, numbers with lots of digits, because digits make numbers. I hope you all know that. Now, in a bit to count large numbers, you've been taught how to group. Grouping is the easiest way to count large numbers. And in groupings, for each group, you have place values. You have place values of hundreds, tens, and units for each group. So, and the objective here, I expect that at the end of this lecture or class, you should be acquainted with counting up to billions and trillions. I also expect that you'll be able to apply place value of digit effectively. Okay? And then let's feast on these objectives first. And then if anything occurs along the line and I have to explain or include, I will. So the first, I'll get an example. For counting in billions. Example for counting in billions. Now let's take a random number. A random number. Now let's go. I could just pick any random number of digits. Okay, and it would be 2, 4, 8, 2, 6, 0, 1, 2, 4, 4, 0. Now, looking at this number, for some it might be a bit confusing when you are asked to name this number. And that's what we are about to do. And in a bit to name it, you should understand what grouping is about. Grouping involves splitting the numbers into small bits of threes. So grouping involves splitting this large number in small groups of threes, 3 digits. So, and in a bit to do that, we must count from the left, which is your own right. You count from your right to the left, groups of threes. So let's go. The first 3, 1, 2, 3, and you separate with a comma. Very important. If you do not separate with a comma, the number is basically meaningless. So the comma helps signify the parts of number systems that you are at. Whether you're talking about hundred, tens, or units, or you've crossed to the thousands, or you've crossed to the 10,000s or 100,000s, millions, billions, as the case may be. So the first group is demarcated with a comma. That comma shows you've crossed from the 100 category into the 1,000 category. You count another 3, 1, 2, 3, and separate with another comma. This second comma shows the beginning of the million category. We've crossed from the thousands into the millions. We continue grouping because we're not done. 1, 2, 3, and a comma. The third comma indicates that you've gone into the billion category. So, a recap on this. The first 3, hundreds. The second 3, thousands. The third 3, millions. And the fourth, billions. So once this grouping is properly done, naming the number is as simple as A, B, C. So let's try the naming. You have the first one, 440, the second is 012, 826, and 24. Now, there's something I must state, and it's as important as all I've been saying thus far. It's the fact that the numbers are made up of what? 100 events and units for each group. This will help you name the numbers effectively. So for each group, whether the 100 group, you have the 100 tens, and for the 1,000 group, you have the thousands. Under the 1,000, you still have 100 tens and units. Under the million, you have 100 tens and units. Under the billions, as you go, you keep meeting 100 tens and units. Now, I can actually relate the specific objective 1 to 2 in this state to tell you that the 100 tens and units is the easiest way to identify the place value of each digit. That's what place value is about. The place value of a digit shows you the value of the digit in a number. So I could just write it as a brief definition for you and tell you the place value, or let me write this as place value. This is the value of a digit in a number. So this is basically it. The value of a digit in a number is the place value of that digit. Now, back to what I was trying to say. Now, in a bit to know the value of the digits here, naming it will help you know the place value as it's like using one stone to kill 2 birds. What happens here is successfully naming it is also successfully identifying the place value of each digit. So are we ready? Let's go on with the naming. So I will split this into this number. I will split in a very simple tabular form. Okay? In a bit to help you understand. So I will do the billion signified as B, the million signified as M, the thousand, TH, the 100, or in this case, I will not write it like this and I'll explain why, but just follow me. 100, tens, and units. Now, for each group, you have 100, tens, and units. 100, tens, and units. 100, tens, and units. Now, you are going to slot each of the digits in their place value. And once you successfully do that, we would have also named this number. Now, let's count how many digits we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 digits. Now, we'll place the digits under their rightful position. So the last 3, 100 tens and units, falls under this category. 0. The next 3 falls under this category, 0, 1, 2. The third 3 falls under this category, which is 8, 26. And the last 2 digits, which is the fourth group, falls under here, the tens and millions of the billion. So invariably, I have just successfully split the digits into their individual place values. And in doing that, I can now successfully name what number this is. So let's go. We'll start naming from the largest group to the smallest group. If you're ready, let's do this together. This is 2 tens and 4 units. It means this is 24. And 24 is under the billion group, so it is 24 billions. 24 billions. Now we have finished this group, we are going to the next, which is the millions group. We have 800, 2 tens, and 6 units, which is 826. And the group is a million group, so it is 826 million. So if we start from the right to the left, or the first group, it is 24 billion, 826 million. We are not done, right? Now we are going to the third group. We have 0, 100, 110, and 2 units under the thousands category. Now 0, 100 means we skip. We don't say 24 billion, 826 million, 0, 112. There's nothing like 0, 100. So you skip the 0 and you name from the tens and the units. Okay? So let's do it right. 24 billion, 826 million, 12,000. Are you following? 12,000. And then we move to the last group, which is 440. If you've been with me since I started, by now you would have seen that naming large numbers is as easy as it sounds, provided you successfully group the numbers in groups of 3s. Once you group, you know how many groups you have. You can easily use the tabular method to place them in groups. Or if you are acquainted with how many digits make a billion, you can just go ahead and name the number. So if I didn't want to go all that way to explain it, I could have just said, if I have grouped this into 3 groups, 3 groups would signify hundreds of millions. Anything after that is the billion category. So then I can now say it is 24 billion, 826 million, 12,440. So that's how we actually, count in billions. We can apply it to population. We can apply it to large quantities. It could be a large amount of animals, a large amount of products produced in a factory. It could be car batteries, it could be bread, it could be whatever. Any quantity that is countable, you can apply large numbers in expressing them. You can apply it in comparison of large population. I'm telling you of the application of counting in large numbers now. Okay, so let me give you some more example. One more example for billion, then I go to trillions and I round this off. But I want to believe so far that you are following. And if for any reason you are missing out on any of the explanations I've given, feel free to send in your messages, your questions. I will deal with them together. So let's pick another number, still in the billions category, and then get it done. 807 112 Okay. Okay. So I have just added an extra digit because I want to make it seamless in moving from billion to trillion. I don't want a case where the discrepancy of writing trillions and then you don't know that between a trillion and a billion you have several levels to it. And points to note, to move from a billion to a trillion, you multiply whatever that number is by 1,000. That's like a hint. So to move, I would say that before I start talking about the trillion, but let me just give you this example and then we move seamlessly into the trillions category. So let's go. How many digits do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. For grouping, we group in threes. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, separate to the comma. 4, 5, 6, separate to the comma. 7, 8, 9, separate to the comma. And then the last group. Just by looking at this, we know it's still in the billions category. Right? But look at the first 3 digits and you will find that it's different from the first example that was given. If this was example 1, this is example 2. Example 2 differs from example 1 by an extra digit. Now, that extra digit, if we want to place it on our small table there to aid understanding, let's just go there and add that extra digit, but starting from the extreme right. 444 falls into the first group, 189 falls into the second group, 112 falls into the third group, and 807 in the last group. Just by looking at it, you know that we have hundreds of billions attached to the number. And without any further ado, from your understanding from the previous example, you can just go straight and name and say this is 800 billion, 807 billion, 112 billion, 189,444. Isn't it easy? It's very easy. Just follow the rules and you'll be fine. So take cognizance of the fact that you must group the numbers. If you group them right, the problem is already solved. So an extra digit made it use the 100th provision here. That extra digit. Now, like I said earlier on, which I'm now going to touch, I want to move seamlessly into the trillionth category. And I'm telling you that to move from a trillion to move from billion to trillion, billion is multiplied by 1,000. 2, 3, 4. You multiply by 1,000 to get a trillion, which has 12 zeros. So this is 1 trillion. Okay? So once you have 12 digits attached to a number, we've crossed into the trillion category. So an example for counting in trillions. Okay. Examples, because I did more than one. Examples for counting in trillions. The first example you have, let's just pick any random large number. 3, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 6, 4, 1, 2, 1, 1. Good. Now, based on this, we are just going to use the same principle of grouping to get our number properly named. So 1, 2, 3, separate by comma, 1, 2, 3, separate, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 digits. Now, based on what we have on the board, if we want to use that tabular format that I used earlier, you'd have the trillion category introduced, you have the billion, you have the million, you have the thousand, you have the hundred, tens, and units. For each one, 100, tens, and units. 100, tens, and units. 100, tens, and units. Okay, so let's arrange and name. For the last, you have 1, 1, 2. The next group 1, 4, 6. The next group 1, 2, 8. The next group 3, 4, 1, and 3. So naming, we must take cognizance of the fact that trillion has been introduced. So we say 3 trillion 341 billion 128 million 641,211. So this is something that at this point you should be acquainted with what is expected of you when you see a large number and the identification of the place value of each digit in those large numbers. So in summary, this whole lesson is to help you understand that you can apply large numbers in counting of numbers itself or themselves, or population. You can apply them in comparing two quantities. You can compare the population of two states in the country. You can apply it in the counting of produce, manufactured produce, and what have you. So many applications of counting. Counting is something we live by. It's an everyday affair. So I'll stop here now, but I'll give you some numbers for you to identify their place value. And then I need you to try your hands on them and get back to me on any difficulty you may encounter. The assignment you do for me. Okay? So you have 4, 2, 4, 1, 8, 9, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Okay, so then, are you still there? Okay, so you have 7, 2, 0, 1, 2, 8, 1, 4, 1, 2, 53, 9, 1, 0. Last but not the least, you have 9, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 0, 4, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. Okay, so try your hands on this and then try counting and naming these numbers and circle back to me if you have any questions. Till I come your way again, Mr. Anthony. See you next time.